Welcome back, guys, to another video. Today I'm going to be talking about the Bourrasque. This is such a great tank. It's so powerful, not only with its double shotgun, but with also its camo, which we're going to see here in this game. It is such a great tank. So for my main scouting setup, I use vents, commander's vision system, and optics. The reason I run vents instead of having low-noise exhaust is because the camo's already pretty good, and I wouldn't be spotting anyway if I wasn't, if I don't play any against light tanks. So I don't have to worry about getting outspotted too easily. Also, it slightly helps with better view range, and it helps with better aim time, and just in case if I have to use my gun, and gives it a little bit of extra accuracy since it's already pretty bad. But as you see, of course, like I was saying, since there is no light tanks this game, that means that I can spot for my team, and we're going to get a lot of damage. The only thing I have to worry about getting outspotted by is maybe one of the SC-130 PMs, or even possibly a medium tank, which is kind of rare, if I'm honest, at least right here, but I'm going to not fire for as long as possible. This first battle is going to be quite easy, so we have 2 battles back to back, actually, when I played this tank, and this is what's going to get me so much spotting damage. And this tank is, I have a love-hate relationship with it because of its gun and because of its playstyle. I do really well in it, or I do pretty poorly, but I specifically have this equipment. I only have the scouting set really for this map, or if we don't have light tanks, then I will choose it on a rare occasion. And my normal setup is I have bounty V-stabs and bounty aiming, and I have regular improved rotation. So we do take a blind shot there because the AMX AC-49, I believe, was spotted, and it's not really going to affect anything. As long as the enemy doesn't blind fire me, it'll be okay. And you always want to go on the west side of this map, whether you're north or south when you're scouting. And the reason is because you don't get proxied as easily from the right side here, and also you're able to see everything that's hiding on the 1 line a lot easier as well, while still being able to spot 2-3 line, at least reliably. So I always try to use cruise control. The reason I'm not facing reverse and going reverse is because this tank loves to get set on fire, so it would be nice if I wouldn't do that when I got shot. If I was to sit reverse like I was earlier, the same time I got shot, I would have likely been set on fire, and I would not have been very happy about it. So, especially from blind fires and stuff like that, from bigger caliber guns such as the SC-130 PM or the Scorpion that they have in the enemy team. So I'm just only moving up when I have a chance to. I'm not going to be moving when someone is already lit because I don't want to risk it. So until they get unspotted or until they die, I'll just sit still, and I'm going to slowly approach. And so far we've racked up 4,000 spotting pretty easily, if I'm being honest. And we're going to keep moving up slowly, bit by bit, and we don't really have anything to worry about. I'm going to go a little bit faster every now and then, take a little jump. The SMV is spotted now, and unfortunately my team's not going to have too many easy shots on him unless if he turns sideways or moves out of position. I could fire there actually and not get spotted most likely, just because I have the camo advantage, but I didn't want to risk it. It wasn't worth it, because I didn't know if the XM to my right there was going to spot me, and it's probably a good thing I did not fire, because that would have not ended very greatly, I don't think. So we're just going to keep moving up bit by bit. A very easy game. This is the only reason my team wins, is because of good scouting. This map is the best light tank map in the game, as most people will know if you've played the game long enough, and it's good for every light tank if you play it correctly. And we'll show you in the next replay how to counter the other side, how to play it. It's pretty similar. You just have to be, the key thing here is patience. If you have patience, and your team has to have some patience as well, because if they get too close behind you, they're going to get spotted and get blind fired, just like we did in the beginning, and you're actually going to end up dying because of their mistake. which is quite unfortunate. That's probably the most annoying thing. Or when the enemy light tank or enemy medium tank YOLOs and they proxy you and you die. That is also very annoying. So we're gonna keep moving up bit by bit. I'm not sure how we spotted the early there, if I'm honest. It's probably the CVS, but we do get some spotting there. As you see, we're up to 7K already, and it's just going to keep increasing bit by bit there. There's really no one else over here. We can see that they have 2 tanks spotted on the right side, so I know for a fact that there's one other tank around here somewhere, and he's not actually going to be here. He's actually going to be crossing over the A6 area right now as we speak, is where he's going to be sitting. It's going to be that Scorpion. So I was going to fire there, but they do take him out just in time. And I do spot the Scorpion and the other SC that's sitting there as well. And yeah, that's kind of why I have Vents, is it kind of helps a little bit when I have to shoot. I didn't have to, but I wanted to because of the damage. So we're up to 10K combined already, pretty easily. This was just an absolute dream of a game for any light tank, let alone a medium tank at tier 8. It's pretty good results. So I am gonna end up getting one shot into him, and then my artillery was already pre-aiming him. So, and this is the one thing I don't like about the Bourrasque. I mean, just look at that aim time. And I think I shot a second too late because I think it hit his upper plate, but slightly miscalculated shot by me. But nevertheless, a very good game. We did get some blind assistance, so it did end up being over 10,000. And here we are in the second game. It's going to be very close. I actually looked. I think it's only like 2 damage off of the spotting damage that we had. And like I said, these games were back to back. Very lucky on my part, but if I can do it in a medium tank, you guys can do it. Now this battle, that was the first battle, demonstrated how easy it can be. This is going to be a little bit more of a struggle because of the way that the team's set up. It's tier 10s, we have to be extra careful. The Grill 15 could punish us very easily. The 140 could, the Foch B especially could, the Char could, the Cobra very easily could, so the Leopard could, they have a TVP as well. So very dangerous tanks. We have to be very careful here, especially not to get spotted. And so this doesn't go for just the medium, but this goes for any tank that you're trying to spot in. At least, I mean, you should only try spotting in a medium or a light tank on this map, at least when you're playing here. And this bush is the best way to counter because it counters anybody if they try to push up to F1 there, where those bushes are. And it also counters the enemy light tank if he decides to try to make an aggressive push on the 2 line, because you will outspot him first. If you have better camo and better V range, of course, it's definitely going to help a lot. So the key thing here is patience. I know that for a fact that the Leopard could try spotting me. The Grill could if he really wanted to. I don't think he really would try something that stupid. And there's really not many other tanks that can try to scout here. But the Char could as well. The Char is really the one that I'm worried about because it does have fairly decent camo, if I remember correctly at the top of my head. And look at that. Alright, there's the Char. So that's why I love this position, is because you can spot things like that E100 there. He's just going to sit there and he's going to allow me to spot him and allow my team to farm him bit by bit. So he's going to get unspotted here pretty quickly. Just because he's gonna start backing up. He's just gonna get out of my V range. Or he's still in there, but because there's so much distance between me and him with bushes, it's I'm surprised I even spotted him at all in the beginning, to be honest with you. And so I can't move until the Char dies. The reason is because if I go up there on the bushes, yes, there's a slight chance I may not get proxied, but it's not worth it. If the Char overpokes like he is now, my team will spot him like that, or I will spot him as well if he overpokes too much, and he's going to get shot for it because we have a Sturv there, and I mean, just look at that. We've got 5 tanks sitting there, and they're ready to shoot, so I can't move until that Char dies. So that's what kind of makes this map a little boring sometimes for lights, is when stuff like that happens, is you have a guy like right there yellowing the dip, or you have a light tank that's not moving up. Like I said, the best thing is patience. That's what's gonna help you win games. So I spot the Char again. He's not gonna really poke, which is unfortunate, but he does get impatient later on, and yeah, it's huge. So we may not get much spotting here, but we do spot an E75 surprisingly. The whole key here is not to try to outspot everybody and to try to kill the char. The whole point is to try to stay alive for as long as possible, because the second I die, their char is going to have an absolute field day. And yeah, as you see there, they are going to change the cover. But this is where it gets even harder. So a lot of people complain that you can't play this map when it gets destroyed by the event. That is not true, and I'm about to show you how. If you do it right and do it very carefully, you very much so can do it. So there's the Foch. He is spotted. And just think about it. If I was to go after that char earlier and been proxied by him, that Foch and that E75 would have killed me easily. So now that things are destroyed, I haven't seen the char for a while. I'm going to try to move up just a little bit because the char is likely has relocated since we haven't seen him for quite some time. And so for now, until I know exactly where the char is, I'm only going to stay on the right side until I get close up here. Because if I was on the other side right there, on the left side, then I would have been shot and I would have died, been proxied by that char. So it is very, very important that I do not get late here. I want to be as patient and as careful as possible. Because like I said, it is better to stay alive and do nothing than to YOLO in, spot the whole enemy team, and immediately die. Because you only have that information for so long. It's only useful for so long. Because they will rotate over time, and they will take advantage of that, especially if I die. Then they'll know, oh hey, he was probably their light tank. Especially in the position I get spotted in. They know that I'm going to be scouted if I get spotted. So it is very, very patient. Now, what you guys, some of you are going to be like, why don't you go down and kill the char? Again, that's not the point. Yes, I could kill him and get it over with, but is it going to be worth throwing my tank away? Absolutely not. Like I said, they have 2 tanks already pre-aiming this area, if not more. Look how many tanks have been unspotted yet. They still have the Iron Arnie that hasn't been lit. They still have the Tiger Mouse. For some reason, he hasn't been lit. They have the 140 that hasn't been lit. So all of those guys, and they have an ISU 152K. All of those that haven't been lit are most likely going to be pre-aiming 1-2 area. So I have to keep that in mind. And so the only way that we're going to win this is patience. And look at that. If you're patient and you allow the enemy to be stupid like that, you're going to get free spotting. I am going to back up because I do not want him to spot me. He most likely won't, but but there is a slight chance he would. It's not worth risking, so I'm going to very cautiously back up. And there's the char. He's poking again. And look at that. If you allow the enemy to push in first, you're going to outspot them. And you're going to absolutely obliterate them. So like I said, there's the Tiger Mouse. And yeah, that's one thing I see a lot of light tank players do. Or even if you're just a medium tank trying to scout for your team, is patience is huge. It's absolutely huge, as proven in this game. Especially when it gets hard like this. Yes, it's boring. Yes, it isn't fun. But I mean, if you want to win and you want to get high spotting damage, and especially if you're trying to mark a light tank or even a Bourrasque, you can use it for that as well on this map, like I am now. It's gonna help a lot in the end, and it's so worth it. It's absolutely so worth it. Every second is. So we spotted the char again. We found out he did rotate back, which means that I didn't realize this right then and there, but I realized, oh hey, I can move up. And so I'm going to wait a little bit longer just to see if that Tiger Mouse gets spotted. So I'm going to very carefully start to move up bit by bit. So this is how you guys play this. If there's no tanks that can, we actually do get lit there. So the only way to counter that is to do this, is to come down in the dip if you can, because you're not going to get out of that alive, or at least go on, if you're further back, just go on the 3 line on our side of the hill, on the north side. Same thing, same on the south. If you get spotted and you're not quite close to the dip, don't try driving forward to the dip, just drive off on the 3 line to your side of the hill. You're going to save yourself a lot. And this was the annoying part too. This is what makes it hard, is because when I'm down here, yes, I can spot and poke like this because no one's poking the ridge, but if someone here was peeking the ridge, there could be people that, like, say, for example, that 140 was closer to me, and he had a friend. Both of them could YOLO me into to this dip, and there was being absolutely nothing that I could do. And it wouldn't be good. So they do end up spotting the grill again. I actually do get lit there. What was my mistake? Not backing down and firing. Look how much HP I lost because of that one little mistake. Because I fired and because I stood out too long a little bit. The 140 was able to spot me. So I tunnel visioned there a little bit, which is my fault. That's the reason I bled so much. So you have to be very, very, very careful. And I was thinking here maybe I wouldn't get spotted. And by the 140 again, not paying attention. There we go. I'm lit. I don't know it yet. See, there it is. And so a lot of people when they see Sixth Sense, they're like, "Oh, I'm spotted. I have time to move." No, you've already been spotted for at least 3 seconds when your Sixth Sense goes off. And so that's why people are a lot more surprised with like, "How did he spot me so quick?" And that's the way it works. A lot of people don't forget that. And a lot of people are like, well, how did he see me so quick, or how did he shoot me so quick? It's because you were already spotted. And like I said, I made 2 very simple mistakes that I could have avoided. One was tunnel visioning, and the other was trying to fire and staying out in the open for too long. I exposed myself for too long, out of the bushes, or just overpoked a corner too much. I mean, look at that. I'm lucky to be alive right now, if I'm being honest. So, it's very risky doing that, and it was not worth it. So I can't do anything right now because, again, as my HP has proven, the 140 needs to die before I can do anything, because if he's gonna spot me the second I peek over that hill, and all 4 plus of those tanks that are pre-aiming me are gonna die, or I'm gonna die to them. And yeah, so I need my mediums to counter them. The problem is that they can't peek over the hills as well, which is why it's taking them so long. Because if they peek, they're gonna get that 140 is gonna spot them, and they're gonna get shot by everything there. So they have to be careful as well. But if I could have, if both of those, if that full HP CS was to go and kill him, it'd be just fine. He'd be throwing away maybe half his HP, but it would be worth it because that means that we could finish the game. It would allow me to go and spot everything else and finish it up. So I can't do anything right now. I have to wait until that 140 dies. Again, patience is huge. And this whole battle proves it. So if you die early on, it's because you were not patient enough, you were not careful enough. So now's the time where I can finish the battle like I was mentioning. I can just go in, scout everything, and it'll be fine. So I want to carefully not proxy him, but I wanted to make sure that he wasn't going to proxy me, which is why I came up close, because sometimes they like to sit there for some reason, and to see that he's in a very poor position. So the ISU has still not been spotted yet, and I'm going to carefully take it slow just for the time being, just until I want this Tiger Mouse to die. We do spot the E75 again, and finally, we actually don't get any spotting for the Tiger Mouse for some reason. I auto aim, and the second shot bounces, of course, but that's auto aiming for you. So I'm just gonna finish up scouting this. We do spot the ISU. He's actually been blind fired. Look at that. He was blind fired. Very interesting. So look at that. 9,955 spotting, and we got most of that pretty easily. So we do win that game by finishing off the Tiger Mouse. So like I said, patience is key, especially in a Bourrasque. I mean, just look at these battle results here. Look at that. 10k spotting, other game 10k spotting. So very, very easy. And hope you guys enjoyed watching, and I will catch you guys later. Let me know what you guys think.